Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer and a designer.
Hey, everybody.
Scoot on in, Mike.
Come in. Welcome to another fabulous Ask an Engineer. Yes, it's a triple play today. We have me, Lady Ada, the engineer. We have Phil on camera control. And we have Mike, whose official title is someone who designs stuff and actually makes a living doing so. He's the one. He's that guy. So we have an exciting show today with all sorts of cool topics, demos, injection molds. Tell them what's on tonight's show today, Phil.
On tonight's show, the code is Mike in honor of our guest, Mike.
Mike.
We'll talk about the Adafruit 6-second film festival. Man, there are so many entries. We will go over the show and tell. We have news in the world of Adafruit and YouTube and Friends and new releases and jobs boards and Packet the mailbag. We have the Adafruit learning system. New things that came out this week. We've got Time Travel Tuesday, Wearable Wednesday, 3D Thursday, Pi Day, everybody's favorite day. New products. We'll answer your questions. We'll have a trivia question, and we'll probably show a photo of MOSFET like we usually do. All on Ask an Engineer. All right.
It's going to be quite a show.
It is a show. This is a show. Okay. So first up, let's pay some bills. The code is Mike, after our guest Mike. 10% off everything in the Adafruit store.
Including Mike's.
Including the stuff that Mike makes here with us.
And microphones.
At Adafruit. So,
yeah, we have microphones and stuff. We did. We made some last week.
We do. Okay. So, Mike, can you introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about what you do, where you're from, and all that good stuff?
Your life story.
My life story? I don't know. I work in Toronto, design products, a lot of medical products.
What do you do in the design part? Do you do electronics, mechanical, packaging?
No, I figure out what things look like and how they get used.
So like industrial design?
Industrial design. And then
and like user interface stuff too? Or
no,
just like physical packaging?
Physical packaging, and then figuring out how it actually gets made.
Okay, so like manufacturability.
Manufacturability, absolutely.
So somebody comes to you and they're like, I want this thing, and you're like, there's no way you can get aluminum to do what you want.
Absolutely. We
have to do something else. So they're like, how do I get this finish? And you're like, okay, well, we can buff it and then anodize it and then engrave it and then etch it, and that'll get you what you want, but you'll pay too much. And they're like, how can I do it for 5 cents? And then all that
And how can I get it by Friday?
And how can I get it yesterday?
Right now.
So that's what. So you have like clients and stuff that you work with, and do you work for like a big firm?
I am the firm.
You are the firm.
I am the firm. So
you're quite firm.
Yes.
Like tofu. No, yeah. Okay.
But mostly it's a lot of CNC, a lot of injection molding. So designing the part in CAD, but actually designing the tool as well. So
designing the tool is in
the injection mold. So you make I design the part, and then I figure out how to actually make the part, so there are no surprises. So I have total control from beginning to end.
So somebody comes to you and they're like, I want this round ball, and you're like, here's what materials you can use, here's how to do it, here's how much it'll cost you, here's your budget, and then you'll actually go and you'll work with the tooler, like the manufacturer, to make the jig, injection molds, thingy.
A lot of time spent, though, up front. In the first few minutes, I can usually tell them what it's going to cost.
Yeah.
So I can usually kill a project.
Okay. Well, it's like that with electronics. It's like that with electronics. People are like, okay, I want, like a Linux computer that will cost like, $50 and will last like a week on battery power. And I'm like, well, you're not going to have it weigh less than 3 pounds. And they're like, it needs to fit in a wristwatch. And I'm like, I don't know, like that's getting tough, So it's like there are trade-offs in design.
Yes.
So that's where you come in. You're a lead trade-off manager. But it's good because, there's nothing worse than you like spent 6 months on a project and you're like, I wish somebody had told me that this wasn't possible.
Yeah, but people don't like to hear that though, because usually when people come to me, it's the best idea they've ever heard of because it's their own. And they don't want to know that it can't or shouldn't be made. And a lot of times you can make something, but you probably shouldn't.
You can make this, but it will cause the world to implode.
Well, no. I mean, it's not worth the effort in some cases. And
can you predict stuff like yield? Like, yes, you can do this, but you're going to have to toss out 10% of what you make?
Yes.
And then that's how
it's pretty standard.
Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't come to that. It's usually... what kills projects a lot of times isn't so much the manufacturing, it's the fact that they don't realize they don't have money for distribution. So they design something, and it's never occurred to them that they actually have to sell it. So say they're selling to Walmart, they have to pay for all that inventory. So that's what kills
shipping cost, everything.
Yeah. Manufacturing design's the easy part. It's actually getting it out to people. That you can have a mediocre idea with great distribution, and be much better off than a fantastic idea.
So what's interesting is a lot of people ask us to like do stuff. Like I actually don't do that much mechanical design. I'm not like anything beyond 2D is like getting too complicated. I'm like 2-layer board, maybe 4-layer board. Anything more than that, I'm like I can't deal with this. But a lot of people say like, well, why can't you make an injection molded case, like a custom injection molded case for me? And I'm like, well, let's say I was going to do that. So I'm going to just show you, like, here's a case for a multimeter, and it's actually kind of a nice little live hinge case. Polypropylene case. So it's a nice case, and it fits the 6 multimeter we're going to talk about.
It costs about $3,000 for that tool.
For this tool, just for the tool itself, is $3,000. But that's just the aluminum that they like inject. They'll probably do like a double tool. It's more expensive, or they'll do.
The more cavities you have in the tool, the cheaper the part is.
Yeah.
So if you did 4 up in that, the part would drop. Well, the cost would drop probably by about 40-50%.
Okay, for the actual cost. So you have to pay $3,000 for the tool, but then you have to pay for the designer.
Yeah, some people don't pay them.
Okay, but let's say, like, I mean, people just want to know, like, about, because a lot of people say, like, well, I don't know, is it like $50? If I, like, about
to pay the designer to
design this case.
Right. Well, something generic like that.
Yeah, this is pretty generic.
Usually the toolmaker would do it for you. If it's just a commodity part, and you don't really care how it looks, most toolmakers would just design it for you.
They'll say, okay, we have a kind of a standard thing. There's nothing too complicated going on here.
No, standard living hinge.
Yeah, and they have like libraries of parts and stuff. Let's say if it was something a little bit more complicated, like say one of the cases that you designed for us.
Well, then it's 500,000 euros for design.
But I get a discount. No,
you get a discount. Well, no, it's usually what I try to do is a flat fee. So I don't say to someone hourly, because you never know how many hours it's going to take. But usually say flat fee. So I say what it's going to cost, when you're going to get it, what you get, that sort of thing.
But it's on the order of like $1,000, $5,000, $50, can of Coke.
A case of Coke, yes. For something like the Arduino case?
Yeah, something like that.
If someone came in to me and said they want to design an Arduino case from scratch, probably be about anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000.
So $5,000 to $10,000 for the design, because it is at the scale of designing it, and you have to do multiple iterations.
It's never right the first time, and then also the first time you mold it, you do it tool safe, and then, which is loose, and then you tighten it up as you mold it. So it's lots of tool testing. So it's not just the design time you're paying for.
No, it's the iteration,
it's the iterations and sort of the manufacturing oversight.
So a lot of people who watch the show, they do electrical engineering. So it's like, you can say to somebody like, well, I want you to design this schematic and like lay out the board, but like it's never right the first time. It's never the right size, and there's always like, EMI problems, or like this noise coming in, or the battery life isn't that great. And so there's multiple revisions. Like I've done boards where I've had 10 revisions. I'm like, I'm not happy with it. I've done 10 revisions, and it's like, at the end, you're tweaking a capacitor. You're like, this is crazy, but, if you change the size of a component, you have to respin the board. So hopefully it's not that bad for injection molding. Usually you have a basic idea.
Not always, but you usually try to get in the ballpark first, so you try not to make it, like I say, a little bit loose, and then tweak it in. But stuff always comes up that you don't see.
You never know.
When you're working on something in CAD,
you
miss stuff all the time. You never know. It's always something different, but there's always something you overlook. You either rush, or if you don't build the assembly in context, so you have all the components in, you miss, things don't fit properly, or, you don't have...
the LCD had it mounted as a little ridge, and now the ridge doesn't fit. And
then the LCDs, the other problem is, like I was saying earlier, the suppliers change them.
Right.
So you design it to one, and then 6 months later, when you get out
and running... They're like, it's been discontinued, sorry. This is the new model.
Or a larger client of theirs has asked them to change it to their spec.
Yeah.
So it's tweaked slightly, and it doesn't show up in the documentation.
Right.
So,
or if it's like completely different, you might have to redo the tool. I mean, hopefully not, or not redo it completely, but you have to.
You can insert
machine.
You can machine it a little bit.
So when you'll design. Let's just say we're designing like an Arduino case. This is a mythical Arduino case we're going to design. So you draw out. Maybe the client comes through with sort of a rough drawing, and you kind of get that into CAD software. What CAD software do you tend to use?
Usually Pro Engineer.
Pro-E, okay, or some people...
I use SolidWorks as well.
People use SolidWorks, some people even use SketchUp for really basic stuff. Hey, look, some people use AutoCAD.
No, I use all of them. From automotive, I use UG, Ideas, like Unigraphics, Pro-E, SolidWorks.
Yeah, and these are expensive software too that you have to buy.
Yeah.
They're like, it's a couple $1,000.
Do you have to keep up on all the latest updates, or do you have like stable versions that you...
No, you can't, because you have to stay with the client, so as they upgrade...
You have to
stay
upgrade.
with them for compatibility.
Wow, that's a great scam.
So whatever the client uses is what you're using.
It's a great scam. Okay, so you you send me, I'm the client, and you send me a rendering, and I'm like, okay, maybe tweak it. Maybe I'm like, hey, I want this boss here, or I want this ridge here, or I want this to snap. We go back and forth a little bit, but you're still only dealing with software. And then eventually I'm like, well, you know what? Like, renderings are great, but I want to get this in my hand. And then that's when you pull out something like a 3D printer, right?
Yeah.
And so you'll actually 3D print a case. And so, like, what 3D printers do you use to do that?
Well, I have two, and usually I start within the first day just to check the scale.
Yeah.
So I have a very large monitor. And
I know.
And even after all these
Oh,
years...
6 or 3 caps. Like, they look like this big on my screen.
No, I usually just do a quick rough
candy
right
bar,
away. But, so I have a solid doodle and a MakerBot.
Okay.
Well, the Adafruit MakerBot.
The Adafruit MakerBot. Yeah, you got the first one. It was a special deal.
Is there a special serial number? I didn't know.
Yes.
Yes, you have the first
The
one.
very first
0,
one.
Yeah.
1, I don't know. Depending on whether you're a computer scientist, we're going to start counting at 0, 1. So you have, you get it printed out, and you'll actually use the 3D printer in iteration.
Well, the 3D printer I have now runs night and day.
Really?
Like I'm going through about 2 kilograms of material a week.
Wow. What's your favorite material?
I actually like PLA.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
Yeah, I originally thought ABS because I molded a lot, and it would be similar, but the problem is that the resolution isn't good enough to make it similar. There's still too many variables. So, with the PLA, I can pause at any time and resume the print.
Awesome.
Whereas with the ABS, once it goes cold,
Yeah.
So next up, I want to hit some of kind of Mike's greatest hits for the people who know.
Yeah, let's show some of these cases.
Yeah.
slideshow.
No, well, the stuff that they know, through Adafruit. So let's go on the journey. So I would say that, well, the first thing that we worked on together, one of the first things was the
This Arduino case.
Arduino case, and I think it's the most popular and the most used Arduino case out there. So this was
I really love it.
Yeah, this is an interesting
I
project.
use it a lot.
And
I have one customer.
what is something in particular you like about this design that you did?
Well, the one thing I like about it is I use the same piece front and back, so
Yeah,
I save
so
the tooling cost.
Yep.
Which design-wise caused a little bit of a headache in the beginning, but it's just simple and straightforward. It's actually not a difficult part.
Yeah,
to mold.
we see this everywhere. Anytime someone's using an Arduino to control anything that has any type of display, this is the default case. Okay, next up, I believe we did the cufflinks together, the eye
That was
cufflinks.
after that, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a beautiful photo from John Janier.
I see them everywhere.
We see these a lot. What is something about this project that you particularly liked? Oh, I should tell everybody, the eye cufflinks are metal cufflinks that when you screw them together, they pulsate beautifully like the Apple power button. So,
What do I like about it the most?
yeah.
It happened pretty fast.
Yeah.
From the first, I think to start it, you sent me the your old power button, like from was it a power book?
Yeah, so I personally have a book of products that that I have like kind of stored up for like 10 years, and sometimes I have to wait till I meet the right people or be in the right place or whatever. And this one was one that at the time that electronics weren't possible, so I had this book and I had taped a power button from an old like Power Mac,
Yeah.
and I said this should be a necklace or a cufflink one day,
Yeah.
and Lamore and I were talking about this, and she's like, I could actually, like, there's a chip now that could do this, and there's a little battery that can do this. And then, yeah, that's what I sent to you.
Yeah, so in that case, the thing I liked about it was I don't think it took more than, say, 10 or 15 minutes for the first rendering, and we had something which I think is only one iteration behind what you have
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
This
We
is
made-
now the
they're
slightly
a little
thinner.
bit thinner.
Yeah, because we can improve. We were like, oh, we don't need as many threads. Like, it turned out that it was fine.
And it was
without.
fun because I cracked out my old lathe. I made the first ones by hand just
Yeah.
to try them out. It's a little bit of milling,
Yeah.
Yeah.
old school, not a dial indicator, so, and it was fun.
That's always fun, like etching circuit boards.
Yeah.
Kind of fun to get back in the.
And I think at that point, that was one of my most popular Twitter posts, that using my lathe, I really missed Control Z because I couldn't undo.
Yeah.
Because I kept
Yeah.
missing and whatever, because it wasn't digital at all. It was like really old school. So
Yeah.
it was a fun project.
Yeah, get your like dial herniate calipers out.
Kind of a fun side note, there was a bunch of people at Apple, when Steve Jobs passed away, they all wore these cufflinks to the service that they had because they wanted to, they were dressed up in suits, so that was kind of interesting. Next up, along the same product line, eye necklace. What's to say about this one?
What is there to say? That
Yeah.
one? Well, that
It was really
because
easy.
It actually wasn't. The thing about this was everyone was saying, "Oh, I don't wear French cuffs. What can I have?" Or, or women were saying they wanted something other,
Yeah.
cufflinks. and it was sort of hard to figure out. That's a 256 thread on it, so it's super tiny part. You know, the post that goes in, so it's really hard to machine.
Mike a little closer.
Yeah,
It was hard to machine and actually get to, stay assembled and lined up and everything.
These thread lock in the end, right?
Yeah, it's just Loctite.
Loctite.
Yeah. And then
we paired it with a nice silver chain, and I really like it.
Yeah. And then next up, this is the big one, because we have a bunch of photos. So this is a journey. This is all the things that it takes
Oh, I remember that.
to make something like this. So I'm gonna hit rewind a little bit here. So what are these things? This is our new pie case that is flying off the shelves. 10% off tonight too. Is it in stock? Are we out? I think we might be out.
It's in the starter packs.
That's in the starter pack. 10% off.
we might have grabbed those.
But this is what it looks like. Yeah, but this is
the
the end result. So what are all these different pieces, Mike? Maybe you could talk about what these are.
Yeah.
So these are inserts for the injection mold. So basically what we do is we have...
and these are chunks of stainless steel?
No, that's aluminum. So it's Alimac 89 aluminum. It's voidless. So basically what we do is we make a large mold base that holds these. And in the mold base you have the ejection and the cooling and everything. And we can swap these inserts out. So instead of machining the entire base, you can just do an insert and do multiple different shapes.
So this is what actually the
plastic is injected into
it.
So this was just the first, they're all machined level, and this is what we do to prepare.
This is a blank.
This is a blank.
This is a blank. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Blank up. Next. What's this?
I can't see it.
It's you wanna maybe
Yeah, it looks like there's some type of drilling involved here.
Oh no, that's just CNC.
That's
just
CNC.
We
Okay.
have some EDM in here as well.
I don't know.
We got some of this.
That looks like
That's just roughing. This
No, that's
It's roughing. Okay. And these are just the photos you sent us. Then you got some of this. You got more of that.
that's like the nearly finished.
Yep.
You got this.
Is that an EDM head?
Okay, so this is this. Can you see this?
Yeah, that's like isn't that a copper EDM? Isn't it?
No, that's CNC again.
That's CNC?
So
Alright.
if you see EDM, it's in fluid.
Oh.
Gotcha.
I don't think we have any photos of
No,
it.
you don't have that.
We
Give us
have
some
this
photos of that.
photo.
And then there's
There
this.
it is.
Everybody wants to know, what is this thing?
That is the mold base. So the inserts are in that, and that's when
It's
that's when it was
huge.
first assembled. So I think I estimated it was 850 pounds. It's actually 1,100 pounds.
Wow.
So
it's a
that
ton.
thing, it's an heirloom.
Wow. And what's the thing on the top, the round thing? Is that
The
what
round thing is just the ring that they lift it with the hoist. So that's
Okay.
how they get it out of the machine. And then the yellow,
you have the other
the
thing on the
strap on the
side?
side is so the tool doesn't pop open when they lift it.
And then what's the blue things down there?
Those are the pins for the springs for the ejector pins. So that's what knocks the part out. So every
Okay.
time the tool opens, the pins push the part out. So it doesn't stick in the tool.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this is the bottom of the case. This is the...
That's
This
right.
is,
So
has been polished.
well, it's not polished yet, and then that
Okay.
is the artwork and attribution that was laser etched in.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess there's a couple questions, but I also want to mention one thing. So one of the things that we thought was important is we love your work so much, and we're co-presidents of the Mike fan club. We wanted to put your name on the case. You never get to see the
I
designer's
was
name.
really uncomfortable with that. But
Yeah, well, we did it. You can't take it off.
It's because you're Canadian and you're all humble and
Yeah,
stuff.
so there's an Adafruit logo, but we wanted to say this is something designed by you in North America. We're very proud of this. This is all in North America. So a couple questions that came up for this.
Okay.
Folks wanted to know the holes on the case. Is that for ventilation or for other things?
I think it's perception, because remember we talked originally about heat wasn't an issue, but people thought it might be.
Yeah.
So we put the grill in the end so people felt more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, this giant cube, that can make these cases. How many can it make?
Oh, that's 4 cavities. So what we do is we have 2 cavities for the bottom and 2 cavities for the top. And because we make these out of 2 different materials, we have a switch so we can turn 2 sets on at a time.
Yeah.
So you mold one black, one clear. So you turn the switch to the right, and it redirects the plastic so it only makes the black part. Turn it to the left, and then it makes the clear part.
Huh. Okay.
And then someone wants to know what are those holes.
those are the
Those are the ventilation holes. Yeah, this is an interesting thing in the pie community. So the pie doesn't need ventilation or heat sinks, but because one person in a forum says it, the Raspberry Pi Foundation has to deal with this. You should have heat sinks. So there are people who sell heat sinks for these things and water cooling their Raspberry Pis.
I think you're crazy overclocking it, but most people aren't. And even if you overclock it, there's still a temperature meter inside. It will stop. It won't burn itself to death.
Yeah.
It has a temperature sensor inside of it. But people like having some sort of venting in the case, and so we added some decorative holes.
There's also
venting. But I mean, there's holes all over the
around
place.
each of the connectors. There's space anyway.
Yeah.
It's not a vacuum.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. There actually is people doing water cooling on their pies.
Yeah.
Like we posted up last week. Yeah, no, I'm actually not kidding. All right, so that's
Okay.
that's a little bit of an overview. So we're gonna hit some other stuff. Mike is gonna continue to hang out in the show, and we're gonna go through our normal news. Don't
Okay.
forget, the code tonight is Mike. 10% off everything in the Adafruit store.
Mike.
What happened to my mic logo?
You know, because it was on white. It didn't. It's on the blog post.
It was a
It's a
pink file.
PNG, but when I brought it in, yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's this thing. So it's
Sorry,
just
not
fine.
trying to be
No, it's fine. It's fine. All right. So some quick news. The Adafruit 6-second film festival was a little too successful. We got a lot of entries. Anytime you look on Twitter or Vine or Google Plus or YouTube and you look for pound Adafruit 6X, you'll see hundreds of entries. People made beautiful films, kids, people around the world, you name it. And so our judges, our team of judges, John Janier and Molly and Becky and Matt and Lady Ada, a little overwhelmed, so we have to spend a little bit more time than we hope. We're hoping to announce either Sunday or Monday. We might have to update it. But for the folks that are hoping that there'd be an announcement tonight, I'm very sorry.
But there's
Yeah.
a lot of videos. We're getting through it.
Yeah, so there's a ton.
And we
they're
want
all,
to make sure that we're totally fair,
yeah, and they're all amazing.
and we give everyone a chance.
Yeah. One thing, usually on the show, what we do is we go over the show and tell with all the different people. We're not going to do that tonight because we have a guest. But basically, we had Jeremy, Mike, Seamus, and
Square.
Andre, and there was a reflow oven with Adafruit parts. Mike had a Nixie tube clock module and the tiny Duino. Seamus had his time-lapse project for the 6-second film fest. It was a really cool time-lapse thing. And Andre resurrected an old daisy wheel
Yeah, that was cool. Chunk.
printer.
Check it out. It's on YouTube right now. You can just go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody.
Yeah, everyone gets a show and tell
There's a
sticker. Who's
sticker.
on the show and tell?
Just email us.
Yeah,
Support
supportadafruit.com.
And if you want to get on the show and tell for next week, super easy. Go to the Google Plus page at plus.google.com/+Adafruit. Find the post where you say comment here to be added to the Google Plus circle for show and tell. Add your name there. We will add you to the circle. And the next week at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time here in New York, we will invite you to our show and tell. You'll show up and you'll show off your awesome project and you'll get a sticker.
Wow, you did that one breath.
Pretty awesome.
All right, next up.
Sorry, Tennessee.
Yeah, the Adafruit YouTube page just hit 3 million page views. That's 3 million video views. That's a big deal. We've been working really hard on that. The content is fantastic. So congratulations, all of our staff, Becky, and everyone who
Go,
does
Becky.
the
It's your
videos.
birthday. 3 million page views.
Phil B, Paint Your Dragon, who has some of the top videos. Great work, guys.
Colin.
Yep.
Good videos. You, great videos.
Next up, Adafruit's now on the youtube.com/edu channel. So they're putting our Circuit Playground videos, the kid show, which did your kids watch that show? Did they watch it yet? You said they watched Ask an Engineer.
Yeah, but they haven't
They're
seen-
too old for me.
Are they too old for the for?
I mean, nobody's
for
too
Ada?
old, but
I think they're too cool.
Well, a little
they're
too cool. All
They're
right.
too cool.
Okay. Next up,
Those kids.
our friend Mike Esty, who was on the show and tell as a guest before,
Like a month ago.
just released the Other Fab Kickstarter.
Yes.
Mike, you were looking at this. We're a backer.
I backed it.
Mike's a friend of ours. What do you think of a machine like this? It makes, little tiny,
Cool. So very precise.
yeah, little tiny circuit boards. Is this something that you would use?
I haven't had great luck with circuit board etching sort of things. I set up I have a little Sherline mill that we use for
Yeah.
etching circuit boards, but
But this is
that's
designed for
no,
it.
exactly. So I think designed for it would be awesome, but I don't even know what's this sell for. What's the?
It's going to be
It's,
like $1,200 or something like that, or
Yeah,
what
it's
did
like
we
a
pay?
$1,200
I'm not sure how
machine.
you couldn't buy it. I mean, for $1,200,
It's a good deal.
the amount of
I
time
mean,
you'd spend setting. something
Yeah.
up.
compared to like, well, so I've used like a T-Tech machine and it was like really finicky. But I saw this and I really like the design. It's very quiet. The spindle design is self-centering. It's very quiet. They do a really smart leveling thing where they check the four corners and then the tool path adjusts for the curvature or any
Oh, nice.
tweaks so that you get like very consistent curves. And he said he could do 10 mil, and I think for prototyping I would probably use it when I'm just like, hey, I really have something I want to get really fast. Design it, check it out. I mean, like I'm adding SMT breakout boards, but I backed it. I would actually use it for testing jigs too, because oftentimes I have a board and I have to make a testing jig, and I don't know what the testing jig is going to be like until I have the boards in hand and I actually spend time with it. And I have to often change the testing jig as well. So I think that's what I'll use it for. It's not worth doing a board fab for, because it's like I need it quite fast. And it doesn't have to be very they're usually not very complicated. There's just simple through-hole breakouts.
Okay.
That's it.
Next up, Scratch 2.0 is out. Please check it out. We also have a Scratch badge. So for kids who are looking to learn computer programming.
My kids were playing with that last week.
They were playing. Yeah, Scratch is great. It's super cool. There's a lot of neat stuff coming up for Raspberry Pi too. And the Adafruit Jobs Board. The best place in the world to post your job if you are a company looking for cool makers or if you have skills and you're looking for a job. Adafruit.com/jobs. This one is 0 point. Operationally sound, technically superior. They're looking for an engineer to analyze, construct, and maintain devices based on technical intelligence reports and reverse engineering of actual hardware, firmware, and software. Support the operation and testing these devices both in laboratory and field conditions. Is this the plot to the movie Paycheck, where the guy like reverse engineers everything?
I think this is like they raid some people and they get like some electronics and like, what is this? And then this company will tell them like what it does.
0 point.
I think I've seen this on Netflix.
This is basically
this is on Netflix, right? This should be the name of the movie.
This is like what Bunny does for fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. He reverse
But you
engineers.
have to have secret clearance for this.
Yeah.
But 1 million people in America have secret clearance, so
All right.
plenty of people can have the job.
Next up, pack in the mailbag. Every
Okay.
week we get letters from great customers around the world. This one is, each time I've made a purchase of Adafruit, I've been extremely satisfied with their service. They're always packed in my own well and very quickly. They have a great selection of components with lots of well-written information using their products in helpful and friendly user forms with great community. They are by far a great example of what a company should be. Thank you, David D.
Yay.
We get letters.
Go us.
All right. Next up, we have some news in the world of Arduino.
It's top secret news.
Well, I don't know if they meant to release this video, but we have.
They did.
Well, the Adafruit blog. I haven't done like a state of the fruit for the public thing, but the Adafruit blog is around 10 million page views a month now. It is a news source.
Secret. If it's on the blog, it's not a secret.
It is. Well, no, I saw this on Arduino's Vimeo channel.
We are the TMZ of electronic.
Yeah, so we're like
boards.
Arduino paparazzi. So check this out. This is the new Arduino bot that's coming out soon. They'll do something in a second.
Promise.
I promise. And for the folks who are very observant, that's our LCD.
That's our 1.8-inch TFT.
Yeah, and I believe that is our code that they're using.
It draws images. It's like a Lego bot. Or
Yeah, I think they're calling it Logo. Yeah. All right. So there it is.
Okay.
It does some stuff. So there, you saw it here first. Okay. Next up, the Adafruit Learning System. That was one of the big things that we launched not too long ago. 225 tutorials.
I know, and I have a bunch I have to release too.
So here's some quickies. We did a 1.8-inch TFT
upgrade
tutorial.
We upgraded the tutorial to, in detail, cover the TFT shield. Same display that you saw on that awesome bot. We pioneered some awesome Arduino code, made it work really great. People love this display. It's beautiful, full color. We have it in a shield format and also a breakout. People have the shield, but they want more info. Now we have the tutorial. It's updated. It has more info.
Okay. Next up,
Phil B, who gives me hiccups, did a really great tutorial for a lovely little product that we just added into the store. This little stand he designed, which we'll talk about later in detail. And he showed, hey, if you want this to be on your desk and show like your CPU usage and like network bandwidth and like how many emails you haven't done read or whatever, here's how to set it up under Mac, Windows, and Linux/Raspberry Pi. It's great. It's all in one place. LCD Smarty might be really old, but it still works.
Next up, if you looked on the blog, John Janier had his Manufacturing Monday post. He took some beautiful photos of our new Samsung pick-and place machine, and the name that I think we settled on is a Mugi. It is it's a Korean dragon. We're kind of getting in the Game of Thrones. There's this great scene, and this girl gets these dragons and this black army, and it's pretty good. You gotta watch it. Anyways,
and you think it's a Samsung machine?
And then here's a picture of Lady Ada in front of the Samsung machine. So we're cranking out stuff. Thousands of boards we're able to.
We're going crazy
to get out.
We're
really
actually going to be able to keep everything in stock,
which
is really great because a lot of people are like, "We love your stuff, but it's never in stock." And it's like, it's not like we weren't making it. We're making it, and people are buying all of it.
Yeah.
But now I think we'll be able to keep up.
Manufacturing Monday. Next up, Time Travel Tuesday. Every week we go back in time and look at the world of makers and things that happen. So last year, 2012, we just had a bunch of badges. This is when we got our first kind of real big batch of badges, and people started using these in workshops and awarding them. That was a lot of fun. The year before, 2011, on a very popular show in the UK, a trivia question was, what was the device that you made, Lady Ada, made people throw up a flashlight, a vomiting
Yes.
flashlight. Lady Ada's Bedazzler, a little more reverse engineered a patent that the government had. And
I don't know how these British game show.
Yeah, it was a British game
contestants would
show.
possibly known. I don't
Yeah.
think we'd Hackaday. But anyway.
All right, next up, further back in time, 2006. This is when I went to the
Yeah.
Power Tool drag races. Have
Yeah,
you ever
that's
seen the
fun.
Power Tool drag races? That's a lot of fun.
They're very dangerous.
So this is like it's a grill that you can cook meat, and the wheels are also saw blades, and it runs.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, it will chop down a cow and then grill it for you.
Yeah.
At the
And
same
then
time.
next up, way back in time, the Hindenburg, 1937, May 6th, just didn't work out. So that totally kind of stopped the Zeppelins.
Oh, the humanity.
Oh, the humanity.
Okay.
So, all right, check the rest of Time Travel Tuesday for more stuff like this. Wearable Wednesday. We're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good on time. Wearable Wednesday.
Stop freaking out.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to keep it going. So Wearable
Okay.
Wednesday, we have stuff from around the world, in
Yes.
the world of wearable electronics.
Yes.
This week I have two things.
Two.
The first one is people are starting to use our NeoPixels,
Lovely.
which are used for...
We made
for,
5,000 of them on the pick and
yeah.
place, so we're good.
and they're starting to use it for other things like eyes of robots, so that's
Yes.
kind of neat.
No googly eyes.
Well, they could be googly eyes. You could use the Matrix for that.
Just googly eyes. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Because you want them to
You can't
be
improve that.
colorful.
Because our pick and place doesn't make googly eyes. It has googly eyes.
Look, this is all we can
You
make.
need to upgrade.
Yeah. And then next up, Becky and Rissa did a fantastic project using Flora, and there is a short video that I'm going to play right now.
Here's a way to add color and light to your spring and summer wardrobe. Use Flora and a little bit of embroidery to make this light-up deep-sea anglerfish on a pair of shorts. It's easy to sew the circuit, and you can even add a snap switch behind the fin. This one changes the color of her lure. And our instructions won't send you on a fishing expedition. Everything you need is at the link in the description below. The battery plugs in through the pocket, and this little extension cable means you won't need to do any soldering. Just remove the battery and turn the shorts inside out before washing. And if you feel like a fish out of water, practice with our introductory guides to Flora, conductive thread, and working with snaps. And soon you'll be dreaming up much bigger fish to fry. And while you're here, why not catch up on a few more episodes of Wearable Wednesday and subscribe to the Adafruit channel here.
Check out that tutorial.
3D Thursday. Okay, so 3D Thursday, every Thursday we have a bunch of posts about the world of 3D. This week, 3D printed glasses in the news. Also, this was an interesting thing, how to dye 3D prints. A lot of people will print out something using just like one color, and then they
Like
want to
PLA
dye
or
it. Yeah, like
something.
PLA. And then MakerBot had this interesting story about, I think it's a $200 robot arm to help people who have lost an arm or a hand. And this was all part of some of the cool outreach stuff that MakerBot has. I think I saw this in a press release. And while we're here on the subject, because we always get asked, Mike, which 3D printer should a maker consider? So you have the replicator, and you're a professional.
I have two. Well, I have two different machines. I have the Solid Doodle
A Solid Doodle,
and then the Rep 2.
the Rep 2.
But the one I have is the Adafruit version with the single extruder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't spend any time on the Rep 2. It just
It just runs.
Just runs.
So for you, it's more of an appliance. You just want something to run.
I don't want to.
You don't want to mess with it. You don't want to tinker.
The Solid Doodle was interesting. Like I spent a lot of time setting it up and whatever, and fine tuning it, but it still wasn't consistent for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I never got the profiles. Like I never got to find enough resolution to make it where I can have parts connecting and things like that. Whereas
Yeah.
the replicator, I only really use it on medium. I haven't even gone into fine yet. And with the parts I showed you earlier today,
Yeah.
snap together.
Wow.
And
So you can do snap fit quality on a Rep 2.
Yeah.
Huh, well, great.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Alright.
there's your answer, folks. I'm just going to send them this part of the video when they ask us in the future. All right. Next up, Pi Day. Every week, showcasing all stuff from Pi. So this is a cool project. This was the Pi Pandora that someone made, and it's based on our cool tutorial that Phil worked on that shows you how to make a Wi-Fi radio.
Yeah.
You can check out that tutorial on learn.adafruit.com. Next up, a Pi gigapixel panorama thing.
Yeah.
That was intense. So you can, take
What?
a look at it there. So that was one of the things that we added in our Pi Pi Day, and you can see all the guts, and they show you how to make it and everything. So with that, we are up to new products, Lady Ada.
Okay.
So before we do new products, the code is Mike. Don't forget, 10% off, everything in stock.
In honor of Mike.
Okay. It is new product time. Let's get to these pretty fast, Lady Ada, so we can get to more questions with Mike.
Yes.
All right, first up.
Updated BeagleBone Black Proto Plate. We had this for the regular BeagleBone, and now we have it for the BeagleBone Black. The awesome about it is now we have these little cutouts at the top and bottom, so you can flip the design either way, and also there's space for the micro HDMI connector. And I'll show it in the next step, in fact. So, next up, we have this little micro HDMI to HDMI adapter for when you have something that has an HDMI connector and like you want to plug it in, like maybe your HDMI to VGA adapter or something. So I'll show this on the overhead.
All right.
Let's go.
We'll get to the overhead in a second.
Wait, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Let's just hang out.
A little bit of a technical difficulty.
Technical difficulty.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, this is the new BeagleBone Proto Plate, so you can see that the cutout is much bigger. So you can get to the mini USB, Ethernet connector, and on the other side, the new micro HDMI connector on the BeagleBone Black, and then of course the USB connector, and then SD card if you want to use it. And then this is the adapter, and it has a HDMI socket on one side and micro HDMI, and so this you can actually plug in quite nicely, and the plate does not get in the way. And this was lovely designed by Phil B. And so yeah, you can flip this either way. So I have it this way, but if you want, you can reverse it 180 degrees, and the mounting holes all work just fine. So it's perfect.
Okay, next up, speakers.
Speakers. Yeah, I mean, these are really nice speakers. We wanted to get USB powered speakers. People doing like Pandora projects or Wave Shield projects. They have a nice ported back. They are powered by USB, but you can always like use a USB to 2.1 millimeter adapter cable, or plug them into our USB power like wall plug thingy. They have stereo input, and they have a volume adapter. We tried like half a dozen different speakers. These are really good.
Yeah.
Like, they actually sound good.
Yeah, we have a whole big box of, you know, when you do designs and you have like kind of a box of shame, not shame, but like things that didn't work out or samples you got. We
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You do perfect the first
That's
time.
never happened, yeah. So.
No, we have this whole big box of speakers, yeah. So this is Lady Ada.
Yeah, so like I sat there and I was like listening to music, and it looked like I was just hanging out and listening to Pandora, but actually I was testing speakers for days.
Yeah. All right, next up, we got these LED panels.
Yeah, this LED panel is pretty cool. Actually, can we go, we'll show this.
Yeah.
And it's a 32 by 32 LED panel, and it comes with a Yo-Yo Mint, which is like this Android development board, and a Bluetooth adapter. Yeah, so maybe I can get you to hold on. I don't want this to unhook. So you have this is the panel. And it's just like the LED panels we have in the store. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was prototyped originally on one of the panels we stock. And there's a Yo-Yo Mint, which is like a Yo-Yo Android development board, and has a Bluetooth adapter in it. And then there's a power plug that powers both of these, because this uses like 2 amps of power. I think you told us.
Yes.
Thank you, my fine assistant. And then you can use a PC or Android, because it uses Bluetooth, and Apple doesn't want people to just use Bluetooth, so you can't use plain Bluetooth with this, but you can use any Android device. So here, for example, we have a tablet, and I can select this design, and it will change to a different pattern, and you can program in your own animations. It comes with a whole bunch of cool ones. Like, this is kind of a bubbly one. This one's my favorite.
The fireplace one? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because this is like this fireplace.
Yeah, I get Mike's to that.
You know, there's like this sun, and there's like Starry Night or something, I don't know.
And you're using, what, a Nexus 7 tablet?
Yeah, this is a Nexus 7 with Bluetooth. It'll work with any Android device, and the app is free and easy to download, and there's instructions on how to do it, and it's called the Pixel Guts Kit. This was a Kickstarter, and it looks really great. I mean, the color's beautiful. You know, it's an awesome little kit, and you can put in any kind of enclosure you like. It's really neat. It's really fast. And you can use it with a PC. It comes with a Bluetooth module. You can use it with a PC. It's just, you know, we thought that Android was kind of the most fun because you can use your phone.
Move the little lamp out of the way so it's not Mike's face there.
Oh.
Next up, we've got
Okay, I'll put this away.
smart tweezers, right?
Yeah, these are some really neat tweezers. So actually, we use these in the shop a lot. And I was like, I should probably sell these in the store because they're so handy. Other people would probably like them. And actually, these photos, I can show them on the overhead, but these photos are really clear. So there's two metal tips that are the probes of the multimeter. It's a basic multimeter. It does capacitance, resistance, diode, and continuity test. And you can use it to measure resistors, capacitors, diodes. It'll also tell you the polarity of an LED because, it'll turn the LED on. It runs off a coin cell, has auto off, has auto ranging. There's a scan mode even, so you can pick up a part you don't know what it is, and it'll tell you its best guess is this is a capacitor and what the capacitance is. So yeah, I can show in these photos it's measuring an LED and it lights it up. And then we don't have the other photos, so maybe I'll show them. I'll show them the overhead so I can just show it really fast what it looks like.
Yeah, on the overhead.
Yeah, sorry. Oop, I lost my part. So these are the tweezers, and then you just press the function button, and it's there and ready to go. And I'm going to put it in diode mode, and then that's the wrong polarity, so I turn it upside down, and
you might want to move it so you can see it.
Yeah, hold on. It's hard. I have to grab this and show everybody. Okay. So we can do this. I might not be able to. No. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can kind of see it.
Okay. Well, it's lit up.
This is why we have close, high-res photos, and we should keep moving along.
Okay. Sorry.
All right. Next up.
We also have a multimeter that's like a pen type multimeter, and this is kind of handy if you want to poke at something and look at the value really easily. I kind of like it because it's easy to use and small, and also I'm often poking at stuff and I don't want to have two probes. So it's kind of it's a lightweight way to have it in one hand, so you can really quickly glance over, and it does voltage, current, resistance, and diode continuity. I don't believe it does capacitance. It does have a really neat, no, it doesn't do capacitance. It does do voltage logic level, but it's 5-volt logic, which is kind of annoying, so whatever. But it can do high voltage, although just be careful. It has a nice retractable tip, which I kind of like, so it's really safe, and it comes in a really good bag. And then on the end comes the ground probe, which you can clip, or there's also a pointy probe style if you like.
Okay, next up. This is my favorite product of the week.
Velochat.
So, Adafruit's official color is black, and all of our packaging is moving to black. All my clothing is black, all the branding and iconography, all the things we do is black. So now we're just going to sell sheets of black. So, what is this, Lady Ada?
So Velochat is a conductive plastic, and it sort of feels like this is 4 mil, so it feels like a really heavy garbage bag, but it's not. It's
Put this on the overhead.
Yeah, it's this conductive black material, and what's really cool about it is it's pressure sensitive. So as the pressure increases, the resistance decreases, which means it's very inexpensive. It's only a couple dollars for a fairly large sheet like this. It's very easy to cut. You can fold it, whatever, although that will change the resistance. You can heat seal it, although that will change its properties slightly. And you can clip to it very easily. You can't solder to it, of course, it's plastic. But you can use it to make basic sensors, like, for example, we made a bend sensor. Yeah, actually, I need to go to the...
you want to go to the...
Yeah, I need to go to the...
Sure.
Big thing. So this is a bend sensor that can change the annoying sound it makes based on how much it bends. And because it's inexpensive, you can make the bend sensor as large as you want. It's also really good for pressure sensor, so you can put it inside of a shoe to tell when you're pressing on something, or when you change between fabric with conductive fabric to tell when somebody's pressing on something. It's a lot less expensive than a off-the-shelf FSR, because the FSR is going to be a couple dollars for one little piece. you know, it's like $7 to $10. This is like $3, and you can cut as many as you want out of it, and you just clamp onto it with alligator clips.
Okay, next up.
This is some conductive jersey. It's a nice soft jersey material. It's a lot like what your t-shirts are made out of.
But it's conductive.
It's conductive. And we have the conductivity measurements. It's made of cotton, silver, yarn, and spandex. It's not shiny, even though it's made of silver. It's kind of a matte look, which means it's a lot. You know, it's a lot less like out there than like a lot of conductive fabrics, which are like copper colored or silver colored. And they're very shiny. This is something that you can embed much easier. It's not as noticeable. It's washable. It's very comfortable against the skin, which we really like. So it's a lot better than the woven material for something that you want to be soft and touchable. And we have it in 20 by 20 centimeter squares.
Next up, you remember this? It was the beginning of the show. Remember the beginning of the show? Yeah.
So yeah, this is a lovely little stand kit. It doesn't come with the LCD, but we show it with the LCD, and I can show it on the overhead pretty easily.
Okay.
There's a really nice black plastic bezel, and then 2 side pieces. When you use it with our USB or serial LCD, the connectors come out the side very nicely, and then the back is exposed, so you can connect stuff to it, and then on the other side it's closed off. It has some screws. It's very easy. It has standoffs to keep it all nice and solid. It sits on your desk. We have tutorials for using it with Mac, Windows, or Raspberry Pi, Linux, to have it display all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward to use.
Is it compatible with the Arduino I2C RGB LCD Shield?
It's not meant for a shield. It's just meant for a small LCD like this. So it's basically designed for this particular backpack. But you can also use it with LCDs that don't have a backpack and you just have a lot of wires.
All right. Last but not least, this is one of my favorite new products that we have.
Yeah, this is a standalone capacitive touch sensor with 5 different inputs. There's 5 wires. You can connect them to anything conductive, copper pads, conductive fabric, wires, whatever, to make a capacitive touch sensor. There's LEDs for each output, and the output just goes low when the signal's touched, so it's really easy. There's no microcontroller required. You don't have to tune any capacitors. You just give it like 2 to 5 volts, and it's ready to go.
Want to do a demo?
Yeah. The only thing to watch for is to protect against...
I have to raise it closer to the camera. There you
go. To protect it from having... like interference, you can only have one output on at a time. So hopefully we'll see.
Yeah, as far as the concept, if you're familiar with the Makey, is that a helpful analogy?
Well, this doesn't connect to USB, but it's just the sensor part of the capacitive touch. You could connect this to something like
anything else.
Yeah. So this is just a little capacitive glue to put between your project and capacitive touch sensor. So if you don't want to have like the annoyance of having capacitive touch code, you would just put this between your project and the touch pads, and it would just work as if it was a switch. So it's just a little easier to use than a capacitive touch driver where you have I2C or SPI and you have to program it and read it and calibrate it.
Yeah.
This just kind of works out of the box.
All right. That was a marathon race. Congratulations. New products are over. Whew. Thank you for hanging in there, Mike. Speaking of, you're the code, Mike. People can get 10% off. You know what they can actually do? When we do this, I always say, this hurts us a little bit, but the Maker Bots, you can buy them 10% off during the show, and you get free UPS ground shipping because it's over $250, and it comes with all those kits that it's part of the Adafruit edition, and it's limited edition. Who knows what the future of this thing might be? Maybe it'll be in a museum one day. Who knows? But it's actually a pretty good deal. It's too good of a deal, but we didn't want to take it off the list of things that are discounted, so it is one of the things. So someone can use your name to get a MakerBot replicator too at a decent price. Kind of too good of a price. All right, so you know what time it is. It is time for questions. We're going to do a race of questions. I'm going to ask Lamore and Mike to get close to the computer over here and ask your engineering and mechanical engineering and your design questions and anything involving stuff from Mike's world, Lamore's world, stuff about Adafruit. Go for it.
Anyway, that was away.
When will Circuit Playground Episode 2 be released? B is for battery. As soon as I get time to finish working on the script. We're working on it.
After we judge the 6-second
B
contest.
is for battery. Is a big topic because we want to teach batteries to kids. And All right, next up. Will there be a stainless steel Velcro because silver corrodes?
No, at this time we only have silver. There's no manufacturers that make stainless steel versions.
Okay, can you hit a Raspberry Pi act as a USB switch?
I don't know what a USB switch is.
Okay. Has Mike designed anything for the guys from Rush?
I live close to Geddy Lee, the bass player from Rush. He lives in Rosedale, but no, I've never designed anything for him.
Do you know that? Do you know this person? Do you know that?
Do I know Geddy Lee?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so no, I guess he hasn't designed them
You see
anything
him a
yet.
lot on the Danforth. Him and the guy from, the guy Kim Mitchell. You see a lot.
All right, next up. What do you recommend for a very short run of plastic parts, 5 or 10, that I have more or less the look and feel of ABS and can withstand high temps of 220 degrees Fahrenheit for use in a car's dash? So a short run of plastics.
How short?
5 to 10.
5 to 10 parts?
Yeah.
I just print them.
So
Print
3D
them on
print
I 3D print it, yeah. To mold that, well, I guess it depends on how big the part is, but I don't see...
Try just 3D printed parts, maybe and glue it together.
Yeah, well, what I do is I 3D print a part and then I glue in PEM inserts, so then you can take it apart more easily, over and over again. It's pretty easy. So
PEM, PEM inserts.
PEM, yeah, PEM. It's PEM engineering. It's pretty easy to find. So you can get like a little number 4 insert. It's like maybe 3/16 deep, and you can use it over and over again with like a number 4.
Yeah.
All right.
Or you can vacuum form it, but the eastest way is 3D print it.
Yeah.
3D printed is the answer. All right. Next up, do you know of a super compact USB cam that includes a microphone for a Raspberry Pi phone?
Not at this time.
Not this time.
No.
All right.
I would love to know one.
Next up, you're working on a new version of Solar Charger, aren't you?
That's right.
That's right.
No ETA.
No ETA. That's not out yet. Don't ask. All right. How does Adafruit feel about the Marketplace Fairness Act? I actually need to look at that. We don't have an opinion. Maybe if we do, we'll put it up on the site, but no comment for now. Next up, for Mike, how do they make molds before CNC existed? How did they make molds before CNC existed?
Okay, before CNC, they would use EDM. So they'd machine a positive out of copper and burn that into the metal. So
they'd use just a normal mill.
You'd use a normal mill to make a copper electrode.
Yeah.
So say you're going to make something in the shape of a can.
Okay, so
you'd
make a
machine
can.
that out of copper, and then you would burn that into the steel. So on something complicated like a phone with lots of pieces or lots of detail, they'd make multiple pieces. Like they wouldn't burn it as one piece. It'd be separate EDM electrodes.
And why not do that now? It's just very expensive.
It's cheaper to do CNC.
Cheaper, okay.
Any tool maker I know that uses EDM, it's generally a much better tool, but it's a lot more money. And tool prices have plummeted so much. It used to be that most tools were about $40K. I don't know why. They got sort of an average tool, and now we're getting down like well below 10.
Okay.
So let's say between 6 and 10.
Yeah, sure. CNC machines are less expensive.
All right. Next question up for Mike. For a case, what's the basics of injection?
I'm not sure what they mean.
Yeah. Me either. For a case, what's the basics of injection?
It could be just make sure that all the walls are a consistent thickness.
Ah.
Yeah.
And if they're not, say you have a really thick section and a thin, make sure that it's a smooth transition between the two. Other than that, I'm really not sure I understand the question.
Yeah.
Maybe restate the question. Next up, we have Explora tutorials and the learning system. Maybe.
We'd love to. We just got them.
Yeah. Arduino had only sold them to, I think, Radio Shack and RS, so we just got them. If you're out there,
I wish they were in the Radio Shack learning system.
Yeah. Now, why doesn't Radio Shack have 225 tutorials about all the stuff they sell in their store?
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Their slogan used to be, if you got questions, we got answers. What is the equivalent of Radio Shack in Canada?
We used to have Radio Shack. It's
called something else now.
No, it's
not Maplin. That's the UK.
It's a battery place now, basically.
Batteries.
Like they have some like little bits of components, but
yeah.
And I honestly can't think of the name of it.
All right. Do all Canadians know each other?
Yes.
Okay.
Except for Rush.
Yeah.
Except for
next up, have you used the new Beagle Block? Yes. What are your thoughts? We think it's a pretty solid board. It's just getting out in the world. There's
but we're still playing with it.
Yeah. Can you interface SATA or USB 3.0 with Raspberry Pi?
No.
Okay. Can you iterate a design both in circuit sense and physical design sense infinitely to make better, more efficient, cheaper? At what point is it good enough or done?
When somebody rips it out of your hands.
When they say we have to ship this.
Yeah. All
And
right.
trust me, you'll know when that is.
All right. What's the best way to reliably capture sensor data from machines in the factory? XB, electric amp, etc.
A wire. Wires are the most reliable way of
Yeah.
doing it.
All right.
I love wires.
Next up, what do you think? What do you think about Staples selling 3D printers? A fantastic first step to getting 3D printers to more people.
I'm a little concerned about support. I mean, just finding a pen refill in Staples kills me.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine asking them. You know,
Yeah.
Set the the Z height.
Zed.
Yeah.
Things that
So should ask, do all Canadians say Zed?
only the smart ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it, though. I wish I'd say
Mike, do you have a
Zed.
preference on microcontrollers, AVR, or PICs? No.
You don't really do that much stuff. Then.
No. I basically, anytime anyone gives me electronics, I put an enclosure on them and then forget why I have them in the first place. So I don't really use them.
You're just like an enclosure monster. Like everything in your house has an enclosure. You probably have like your kids have like a perfect injection molded like.
Yes, that's what they
Case.
sleep in. Yes,
Yeah.
I make little
That's
polypropylene with living hinges. So every night we
that's
tuck them
lovely.
in.
That's lovely. Yeah, little like
All right.
clasps. Okay.
Next up, how long does CNC take? How about the old method?
CNC relative to the old method.
Yeah.
Let's say like you're going to mold this can shapes.
Mm-hmm.
So how long would it take to EDM it?
We would never EDM so but
Okay.
say you're going to do a cell phone, like say the bezel.
How about like something like this? What
Um,
about this size?
if you machined it, you could probably do it in. So you'd have to pick out the.
I
the
think like the
snap
weird
patches and
stuff, but like let's say it was a completely flat and it was just press fit.
There are probably lots of tool makers that would kill me for saying this, but you probably do it in like 2 or 3 days.
Okay, 2 or 3 days for CNC, but then what about if you were going to EDM it?
Well,
You'd have
it
to
would
make
take
a
that many
positive.
days just to make the electrodes.
Yeah.
And then you're burning it like a.
Wow.
How long does it take to burn it though? Like what is that? Is that like an hour process or a 10-hour process?
Forever.
Forever.
Wow,
And then a bit more.
that's cool. I should.
But it's super accurate.
The Gantt chart on that must be difficult.
Yeah.
No, like seriously, like how long would you burn? I mean, like you just repeatedly try to burn it.
Well, they rough it in first and then they burn it. So you
Yeah.
wouldn't want to do.
No, you wouldn't like.
You just put the detail in. So you machine it, the sort of gross machining, like rough tool path, and then you finish off with the detail. So it's
Forever, like 2 months, like a month.
I don't know. I don't remember getting tools in under 12 weeks before.
12 weeks.
And I remember, and now, like we can get them out. I should never say this, but we could bang a tool out in a week.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like everything was like aligned.
Well, if everyone agrees,
Yeah.
you know, and no one whatever. So,
in like a perfect world.
Okay. Next up,
Okay.
how do you get different textures on injection molded stuff?
photo etch. So Mold Tech, they have a whole book of textures. You just pick the number. They're nearly impossible to get. You know, like the sample plaques, but
Yeah.
you can find them online. Because what happens is people get the Mold Tech texture, then they go to China and get it done.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a photo etch. So they project it and then burn it in.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's all the car interiors, all that rippling on dashboards and stuff. That's all Mold
Those are Moltec, and you, oh, okay.
Interesting.
Huh.
I was assuming that it was like CNC or
So
something.
no, somebody has to go to mask it off and then they photo etch it.
Wow.
It's really well. It's not bad when you have to make a revision. You have to match up. Like if
Right.
you insert a tool, it's a pain.
Okay.
All right. Mike, what's your favorite metal to work with?
For what? Like what sort of project? Like for a tool or for making?
And just machining.
Yeah.
working-
Aluminum's faster.
Yeah.
Much.
Aluminum's fun.
Filling aluminum.
Okay.
All
It
right.
looks cool.
And then last question of the night, Lady Ada, you can tell people that this might be a better question for a tutorial or a forum post. How do you interface two I2C devices with an Arduino?
You can. I mean, if there's an Arduino I2C library for them, that's easy. Or you can use a wire library. Just connect them to the I2C pins and check out the wire library documentation, and you should be able to get started. I'd read other, if there's an existing library, or find other libraries that are similar. Like if you're using accelerometer, find a similar accelerometer library. They'll give you a hint of what you're looking for in terms of registers, and you just have to write some code.
All right. And with that,
Code away.
oh, one last one. For a new BeagleBone user, what board would you recommend?
The BeagleBone Black is great.
Yeah, it's the only one out that's shipping
We'll
right now.
have some in a few days. So sign up. Open very soon.
Okay.
And we have a lovely case.
Now it's trivia question time.
Okay.
Let's do the trivia question. Lady Ada, what are the rules of the trivia question?
The rules are you can only win once per lifetime. So if you've already won a fabulous prize, you can't enter again. The first person to answer this trivia question correctly, with correct spelling, gets the fabulous prize, which is an eye necklace.
It's going to be an eye necklace and a Raspberry Pi case.
And a Raspberry Pi case.
Mike's
Wow.
I can't answer this.
You can't.
No.
You cannot answer this one.
Also, you have like 15,000 eye necklaces because of all the ones we like sent you, and we're like, take these.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
I like how people are like trying to like guess.
You're not going to get this one preemptively.
Yeah.
This is not one you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I only know
Without
one
knowing.
person that's watching that.
So.
And if you know Mike personally, you
Yeah.
can
So we're gonna start showing photos. Who is the designer behind these wonderful concepts? Maple syrup is not the answer.
Poutine is not the answer.
Yeah, so get the name right. Geddy Lee is not right. Mike is not right.
Not Rush.
I'm flattered.
So this is a designer who's well known, and no, it's not George Lucas.
Pay your dragon as that figures. No.
Let me just see if there's a. Someone's pretty close, but make sure you get the.
Get the answer. Who's the designer of these fabulous concepts
Yeah,
in metal?
I could start doing hints later, but let's see if anyone's got it.
And you get an eye necklace. This is a nice prize, so we wanted to make
No,
this.
it's not Leonardo da Vinci. These are like trucks and trains, guys. Come
Yes,
on.
it's not
It's not Dean Kamen.
Do you
All
want to give
right.
some hints?
That guy.
We could give them a video.
Buck Rogers. That's pretty funny.
Do you want to give some hints?
Not Steve Jobs. Yeah, I'm gonna give a hint. So when you start to search for it, so this person began their career in the 50s when he helped design cars for such companies as Fiat, Alfa Romeo, Volkswagen, BMW, and in 1957 he dropped his first given name, Lutz. So let's see if anyone is.
Is it ever taken this long to answer a trivia question?
Yeah, tough ones.
Yeah, we're giving
they're
it a tough
tough.
one. This is we're making folks work.
I mean, like the problem is that everyone knows the answer is like our friends.
Yeah.
They can't enter.
All right, and let's see. Not Bob Chevrolet. I can Andy.
Nope.
Oh, there you go. Matthew Bard. Luigi. Oh, you want to do the right name?
It's Luigi Kalani.
Luigi
I don't know
Kalani.
how he figured that out.
Yeah.
He typed in exactly what we said.
He may have. All right. So,
Or you know, like
so
the
Mike,
design-
tell us about this designer because
Why did you-
I recalled his stuff when you told me about it.
I think it's something that everybody knows. Like everybody has seen his work,
Yeah.
but no one
Knows who he is.
no one
Yeah.
knows who he is. But in sort of design circles, it's kind of always. I just find him interesting because he doesn't seem to care. He can pull off pretty much anything, which
Yeah.
I like to think I can do. But I don't think I could have sold that.
Yeah.
Some of those ideas to actually get a client to pay. You know, those are full size mock-ups, and in some cases, I think they actually function.
Yeah.
You know, that's a pretty big sell. I wish I had 10% of that.
Yeah, well, Matthew, email support@adafruit.com. You definitely earned the necklace and the Raspberry Pi case. So, all right, that's the show.
Being the first Google.
That's the show for tonight. Mike, thank you so much. And if I'll say it once again, you've been one of the most fantastic people that we work with. You're talented. You're amazing. The stuff that you make looks fantastic. When people get this latest Raspberry Pi case, they say this is the best case, hands down. It's the first thing.
Lovely.
It's the first thing they say out of the box. It's something you want to put in your living room and show everybody, not like hide it behind a TV or say here's a bunch of ugly stuff. It's something that you want to see. So
Yeah.
fantastic work.
Yay.
Good job. Thank you, Paint Your Dragon, Becky, George, John Engineer, everyone in the Adafruit staff who stopped by, everybody in the audience, all the show and tell participants.
Ainsley
and-
and Ian, sorry, they just texted. My
Oh,
kids
yeah?
are watching right now.
Oh, hello.
And they didn't heckle me, which was nice. So.
They were asking all the questions about injection molding. I know. And don't forget the code is Mike, 10% off everything in the store. We have one photo of a cat. People are asking how the MOSFET's doing.
I didn't see the cat.
Well, this is a factory. We actually can't have pets or anything like this. This is a real deal. It's a place just for manufacturing.
The last place the cat.
We had a live workspace, so MOSFET could live work there.
My trip's not complete.
Yeah, but here's a picture right before we left. I'm starting to teach him to sit on my shoulders as I walk around. So there's
He's a little creepy.
Yeah, so he's getting pretty good at balancing.
You'll actually like do dishes with the cat on your shoulders.
That's what I'm trying to do.
It's just kind of
So there he is. That's a photo from today. All right, so here is your moment of Zener.